There's a lot of background noise.
You can get in the comfy.
I could, but then it's away from you, and no one can hear you.
I'll take it too.
And then they might not be able to hear our special guest of Mr. Matthew Payne.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys, for having me. It's,
I'll just switch it that way.
It's good to be here.
That's fine.
Yeah. So first of all, guys, thanks for having me on board. And I guess one of the main reasons I'm here is to for a big announcement for the hobby.
That's a lights for bevies. Cheers.
Yeah, for beer. Yeah, cheers to the beers. Yeah, definitely, you got that right.
The Christmas we didn't think we'd have.
Yeah.
So you've got something extremely exciting and special to announce for the entire sphere of cards, trading cards within Australia and this particular hemisphere.
True. So, as some of you guys may know, that we founded the Australian Trading Card Association a couple of months ago. Okay. So once we got that association going, that was a platform to reach out to some spaces and try to create, I guess, one of the major events within Australia. So we've been very lucky that we've teamed up with Oz Comic-Con, and 3rd and 4th of July we're partnering up, and the Australian Trading Card Association will have our own floor space. And yeah, we're going to get tens of thousands of cards down there. We're going to be walking through it, showcasing cards, doing live breaks. We've got a little basketball court there for giveaways and shoot-arounds, and yeah.
Very epic.
Yeah, what we're doing is trying to create the platform for Australia, and I guess we're starting off in Melbourne. Once we do that platform, we just need the hobby to get around it and get involved, and I guess be part of it and turn this into a major thing for Australia. So
I mean, this is a major thing for Australia, right? Like, not turning it into, this is massive for us. We've never had anything around trading cards that's this size. Like PAX even, is big, but this is going to be just as big as PAX, right?
We're definitely Australia. We have to work hard for everything. It's crazy. Yeah, that's all I have to say.
But the goal is, to team up with Comic-Con is a huge thing. They're a legitimate event. They have up to 40,000 people come through their doors on a weekend, and for us to be part of that and to have that much kind of exposure is just unbelievable. And hopefully we can get the card stores involved, and the hobbyists and the mums and dads, and we want everything from major booths and sponsors and suppliers all the way down to the little market style tables where you can go in there, spend hours digging through cards and looking at major collections, and try to get some of the Panini and some of these big guys on board to really support it. Have giveaways and shoot arounds on the basketball court, guest speakers to come in and talk about grading and cleaning of cards, and also the other side of the hobby with the investors and stuff like that. Try to really expose all parts of it. And it's not just basketball, it's going to be Pokemon, AFL. And I think for it to be in Melbourne to start with, to get that select brand involved as well. And I'm predominantly basketball, or Jordan, so it'd be really a great experience to get more exposure to that, I guess, and to understand the hobby and the Pokemon side of it and all that.
It's like that's what's the consistent thing. It's everyone is into these cardboard rectangles, and it's like they come in so many different shapes and forms. It's pretty wild. But I mean, what you were saying before was really important about. It's also finally a time and a place to showcase what people have been working on for many years, and they've never had the place to, apart from maybe their friends closely. It's like, well, it's the best show off ever. Here's my Larry Johnson PC or something, and just nerd out about that and celebrate what it's all about.
You're calling me a nerd?
Yeah.
Oh shit, I'm a nerd.
We're massive nerds, man.
And a big part of this, as kind of Australia deserves this as an opportunity. We've all been through it in 2020, and one of the big things is the community that we all kind of know and love, and 99% of the people we come across are genuine collectors, and that their intentions are right. And I've created some really good friendships all around the world, and to be able to bring these people together, and hopefully people get around it and do come in from around Australia. The goal is to have Sydney, Brisbane and Adelaide as well. but we really need Melbourne to kick off. We really need to, Comic-Con are putting, a lot of faith in us as a hobby. So we really just need to make sure we're all there, turn up, and not from a monetary value perspective, but from the hobby perspective, to make sure this just rolls through and it's a thing for years to come. Because we want this to be, the equivalent of the National from America. We want that in Australia, and that'll give us more ability as an association to go over to America and start kind of really doing some deals with these people to bring more legitimacy to it, and try to bring back some people for signings and get PSA involved. And imagine if we had a card show in Melbourne that PSA were doing raw graded stuff. That is insane.
Yeah, we're doing all this based on hardships of we're going to send things over that take months. And, it's what we do in Australia usually if we're into something. It's easy to do it in the States. That kind of thing. What's up?
What's it doing to me?
Skip frames. What? Detected 100%. All right. Well, we're not doing much video stuff.
That's fine.
It looks fine.
I'm always, you know what I am? I'm always worried because that record button hasn't gone on. It's fine. It's still streaming, but I'm worried about.
Oh, that's fine. I've seen it on here anyway. So.
It's fine on there?
Yeah, more or less.
All right, good.
I've got to tell you. We'll continue. At the very least, I got the video, right? And it goes up and...
We don't have video because it's not recording.
Oh, okay. It just streams.
It's live.
Does it record on Twitch?
It does, but it records what it sees.
Okay.
Which is why...
It's still doing a thing. We'll check. Yeah, that's always the way. It's fine.
You guys keep talking.
Audio only? No, I want to try both. Not important anyway. But no, I completely agree, and it kind of works in parallel with the fact that the game is actually just getting bigger here too, which is just bloody exciting. And we're seeing atoms like Ben Simmons, collection, and we've finally got. It's looking good. Yeah, cool. We're finally getting more Aussies doing good things in the game, but it's in no mistake. Like that 90s time when we all had the first, NBA hoops 94, 95. NBL was doing great then because NBA was doing great. We had a few Aussies doing things, Luke Longley, whatever, and now it's that more than ever. And it's guess what? Basketball is a casually understood thing now. It's taken years, and now it's everyone's into cards as well, and they're discovering it literally in the last few months. A lot of people are oh yeah, cards are a thing. I have these. What's it like these days? And that's going to be huge kind of thing. But then I think the biggest thing is those people who've been doing this for. I've seen a lot of my friends as well. They've been doing this for 20 years, and through all the good and the bad of the NBA and everything, and they just keep collecting. Yeah. And it's where do you show that off?
And this is an awesome opportunity for breakers, collectors, suppliers, to get together, to network, to link up, to try to get product cheaper within Australia, or for a small company that might have just started out selling sleeves or whatever it may be, they can actually get in front of the community. And we get around and support the Australian stuff, and something that I do want to touch on quickly is I guess as I said about the community, and there's a lot of middle-aged or Chesh, you're middle-aged. We're not quite there. But,
I'm old, but yeah. No, I am middle-aged. I'm 42. Everyone knows that.
Yeah, and we've all been through it this year, and the support the community gives each other is just unbelievable. I've got some dear friends through all this, and I think men's mental health is a really, really important thing to get involved with this, and we're definitely going to be trying to raise that as a get speakers in from Beyond Blue or whatever it may be, and also to try to bring some awareness to it all, to show support and that it is okay to talk about that stuff, and if you're hurt and you got the boys around you to support you and pick you up, because I know through 2020 it was the people in the hobby that really got me through it.
It's amazing. The cards became your support network.
Oh, definitely.
The people around there.
Definitely, and I'd get these mail days or whatever, and break them, and people just reaching out to me and generally trying to buy them, but just talking cards, or it might be a 10-minute conversation with someone, but it's a nice, pleasant conversation, and
it's a nice distraction at first, and then you're this is just I just want to need it. Exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
Often we're just seeing the same walls of our house and like, what do we do kind of thing.
Yeah, and also the nostalgia of going through your cards when, you know, if you're having a shit day, you can just open them up and flick through them, and you take them back to that time of the newsagents where, you know, we were saying before where you got these hits, but the guy at the newsagents was trading them for another pack of cards, and who knows what you're giving away, man. And to see also, you know, as we said, I'm mainly basketball. To understand the AFL side of it, and you know, that's a world that I haven't dived into, and I assume it's a big thing. But
that's growing in parallel.
Well, I know it is a big thing, and it's a legitimate thing. And the Pokemon world, I can't wait to meet those people and link up with them and see how they're running their groups and what they're doing, and you know what their community and their strength of that is really cool and exciting.
And it's always just really cool to hear like someone passionate about what they do, of course, and like what it is that makes them think about why they love to collect the thing they collect, and that's always just infectious. You just
and that conversation is really interesting with the diehard collectors, the investors, the flippers, the breakers, you know, and it's all part of the dynamic of the hobby. And I think we all just kind of need to embrace it, because I know
respecting everyone's got their own motivations. Exactly.
Some of the conversations at times can be a bit like far out, you know. But
you can't. Who are we to kind of say
what you can and can't do with cards?
Things are harmful.
Or malice.
But who are you to say you have your motivation to collect cards is less correct than mine?
Correct. Yeah, that's exactly right. You know, and we can't really judge that. And I want to get those type of people involved in this space and these discussions. You know, because maybe if you're not an investor, maybe you'll learn from it. And I don't know, come out of it with a different perspective of it. Yeah, and that's really interesting.
Because who are we kidding? Like these can be legitimate investments in stocks these days.
Oh, well,
and really good, probably more viable if you have enough knowledge, than a lot of things.
And I just can't wait for someone to sit me down and explain the 40 different variants of Prism, so I can finally get my head around it, because I got no idea. If it's not 90, I'm struggling.
Or two, or like 2 or 3. Sorry,
get the Jordan or get a refractor, and you're like, I'm done. But now,
so it's funny you mentioned that, because you showed me something before in your collection.
Yeah.
And there is 2 copies of it. In the whole set, there are 2 different versions, right? There's a base tops minus and a refractor.
Yep.
Right? These days in Panini Land, we have anywhere up to 40, including disco, snake skin, pink, orange, purple,
you name a colour.
Cucumber.
Name an object.
Cucumber, banana, sex toy.
And which is
everything.
And I was thinking about this. I guess we're, because we are a little bit older and we grew up in that 90s era, for the younger guys that weren't exposed to that, or, they didn't, I'm always like, how can you not collect Jordan? If you weren't around then, that's not your world, I guess. It's like, I don't go collect, one of the older original guys and that Jerry West or whatever. I don't have that connection. Well, I wish I did.
Exactly. George Mikan.
Chamberlain.
I've heard of him.
I think I have a signature of his at home that I recently had.
But this younger generation that's coming through, that's their world. They're watching these NBA games and they're forming that nostalgia.
That's usually why you collect something. Exactly.
And it's kind of like that next generation's coming through, and Panini's kind of giving that platform for that, I guess. So,
totally. What do you got there? You got mail time stuff.
This is mail time stuff.
Awesome.
This is everything that came in this week.
So I don't know. I think that's a perfect kind of introduction to what will be the future of cards in Australia, which is bloody promising and exciting. And who knows?
I think I left it at home.
I think we're all looking at 2021, going the optimism of the year that can, because we double down on what we appreciate, and it's like, well, how do we then springboard that? Which is a great way to put it. But I don't know. Do you want to go through some?
Let's go through some Jordan.
We've got some pretty.
And Al will smash some more pretzels.
Loving some pretzels. But yeah, of course, if anyone was doubting the cred of this fella saying he's going to bring together the new Australian event for trading cards, I think you got some cred behind you when you show what you have in your pockets, basically, as far as what you've been accumulating.
I'll very quickly touch on my journey of the Jordan stuff. So I'm a collector from, I guess I'm 37 now, and since I was 7, I've got 2 older brothers. When I was in primary school, they went off to high school, and that's when the Jordan stuff started coming in. And my first ever Jordan was an in-your-face card, you know, and I've still got that card, and I love it. It's one of my favourites. Obviously,
I'll point out, one of the cheapest inserts back then to acquire.
Yeah.
Not so much now.
Yeah.
As you can only crack them damaged as fuck out of boxes.
I've got a couple of hundred of them, so I can hook you up. But you know that Jordan thing never went away, and we had this folder that evolved with us over time. And it was when I started working, I had some more disposable income and got into it and maintained it. Unfortunately, I wasn't smart enough to buy good cards at that time, but
who was, you know?
Yeah, well, there's some people that, yeah.
I just wasn't smart enough to keep them.
Yes, exactly.
My Jordan Refractor, for example. So I had 5 copies of the Jordan Refractor.
Dang.
I bought each one of them at the time for $70 a pop. I sold them many years ago for $100 a pop, going, sweet, I made $30. How much are they worth now?
Oh, yeah, anything really, yeah.
Stupid amount of fun.
Yeah.
It's just, let's forget.
Cool.
Yeah, so
exactly.
to touch on these cards, well, I don't know how you pronounce it. I always say
Triumvirate, I think.
Yeah, I always say triumvirate.
I say that because I love the word, and there's a prog band called Triumvirate, and
it's a Greek word, I believe, for something.
That's wild.
You know, when we look at these cards, these are both PSA 10. These are my favourite cards in the world, and I was saying to the boys, when I die, these are in each pocket.
Yeah.
We normally have a card that has 4 corners.
Yep.
This version, I think, is about 58 corners to be graded. So to have that in a 10, it's extremely low pop in the world. There is other versions of this with the Illuminator or the Illuminance or whatever they are. These are the base ones, but still to have them as a 10, they are just super special and very, very dear to me. And
this is wild too. Like they even decided to die cut the lightning bolts. So sure, go nuts. That's awesome.
So there's some pretty cool ones.
So how did you come about acquiring?
Yeah. So I guess obviously Facebook is the main.
We'll clear the box out actually.
I guess the other question should be, you've been buying these slabs, right?
Yeah. So I've been doing slabs only for about maybe 18 months. So before that, I had just thousands and thousands of base crap, $5 cards. Think I was sitting on $1 million where I wasn't. And then it wasn't until I had the opportunity to meet some people, mainly from America, and some great guys, really, and some of their collections are insane.
Crazy.
I'm getting the dregs of it, and they say they've got cards in the vault for their kids, and I just, let me at them. But this card has got a really nice story to it. So I won't mention his name, but one of the boys in, through the Facebook groups and all that, after lockdown, he came and had a beer with me, and we just spoke cards. And he's got a very different story and a different method to collecting. He's more into the gridiron stuff, and when he came and had a chat with me and understood where I was about in my journey, he offered me this card, which he didn't particularly want to get rid of, but he felt it was well suited to be in my collection. So I feel like I'm more of the custodian of this card, opposed to, I'll never sell it. I never plan to sell any of these. And there's 150 of these in the world. I know one of the boys over in Perth has one. I don't think there's too many within Australia. And in a 9. So that's obviously the precious metal gem. Now, we all know the green precious metal gem is one of the most sought after rare cards in the world. So to have the retro version of that, obviously it's not the original, but the retro is probably the next best thing. So a very special card with a great story, and showed that community coming together, and it's beautiful, And we've now got a really good friendship based on this card.
And a card represents that in a really cool way. Exactly.
Because it's funny you say that with communities. So with me, with switching from Karl Malone to Larry Johnson, and I've had a lot of people, even Sam finding his old collection, of course, sending me base stuff, basically, it's worth nothing to me, I'll just include it in your sale, or hey, I found your address via a post you made, which is fine because I am an eBayer, and my address is out there, and my address is easy to find. It always has been because I'm a content creator. My address is on millions of websites, and that's fine. I don't think anyone's going to like break in and house invasion me. I don't have a $300,000 briefcase.
Where's the LJ? No.
Yeah. But I mean, the point is that the community, like with the Carson thing, right?
Yeah.
Take DDC for an example, from the Cherry Group.
Yep.
Sent me out some stuff just because he found my address and was like, hey, I thought you'd get a kick out of this. Here's some cool Carsons. Another dude on one of the groups like sent me a Carson rookie badge because of that. Because he was just like, hey, I got this thing, they made a mistake. They sent me my real card that I was supposed to have, but they also let me keep the Carson. I'm going to pass it on to you because I know you love Carson. And I mean, that speaks volumes about this as well.
Oh,
like,
I feel like there's this inherent thing a lot of people have, which is just like there's not an obsession, but there's an instinct to try and find the right home for everything. And it's like, I know someone who collects this, they'll love this. And it's not like we're expecting anything in return. You're like,
the joy of giving is,
exactly.
and I don't know if you boys have seen it, I've given away some significant cards to boys that are dear friends of mine, and they were saying that were a big mental health to me. They picking me up when I was down, and to see their faces, like Jade Falls was shaking on his mail day, and that is just the greatest feeling as a collector to share that with someone. And money isn't relevant at that time,
Well, it's funny you should say that because I actually met you through the Breakers Den.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if you remember, but it was your Jordan Mail Day.
Yeah.
And we started talking Jordans.
Yeah.
And I saw you giving out extra Jordans to people, and I was like,
who is this guy?
Who is this guy? Like, you're fucking crazy. Like, he's this like $50, die-cut Jordan. I've got like 5 of these. You can have this one.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at this going like, this is A, the nicest person I've ever seen in one of these groups, but B, also the most insane person I've seen in one of these groups.
Yeah.
But the point is, that still comes back to that community spirit of you going, well, look, I didn't, like, when I break down the full collection that I bought, it didn't cost me, X dollars per card. It cost me maybe $5 per card because I bought this guy's entire collection.
That folder was I bought a mystery folder of Jordans. That was true.
And I was just going, half the shit in there I haven't seen in 20 years.
Yeah, that was really nostalgic. I'll just quickly, these cards are, this card is out of the Nintendo magazine.
Yeah, I love this.
And I'm not, these cards, it's not about monetary value, it's about the story and the enjoyment of it. So this was from a Nintendo magazine, and it's torn out, so it's a serrated edge.
So there's the first challenge that someone's got to tear this out without ripping it in half, because anything on serrated stuff is not easy to take out in one piece.
And somehow the edges, they've given a 9.5, so that's pretty interesting. But a really cool card, and not super valuable, but a really nice thing to have.
Exactly.
This is a Golden Touch that I just got the other day. Just thought I'd show that because not many people have probably seen them.
Yeah.
Something I did want to show. So obviously this card, there was a lot of hype about the Scoring Kings.
There still is. What are you talking about?
And I've got quite a few more of these as well.
And I'll tell you why. Because, again, Scoring Kings, because of the amount of foil, you very rarely can bust one of these out of boxes because they are like 1 in every 36 packs, right? And because of how many cards are in the set of Scoring Kings from this particular year, not only that, because the amount of UV coating and foil use on these cards mean that these cards damage really, really easily, and it is hard to pull anything lower, anything higher than an 8 out of those boxes.
This one's incredible.
Oh, that retro is. I really love that card. It's significant. So, you're chasing the Larry Johnson, yeah?
I am chasing Larry Johnson.
Yeah. Have you got other Scoring Kings?
No.
The Barkley or anything? You don't have a Jordan?
I don't go after the player, like the entire set. I go after the particular player.
Yeah.
So, no.
Well, I just wanted to, take this opportunity to say thank you as a content creator and getting around the Australian Trading Card Association. You're one of the first people that reached out to me to kind of get behind it, and you've always been a supporter of it and the idea and that. And
because
I guess
it's amazing.
From me to you.
Oh, you're not.
That's yours.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah, man. That's yours.
I'm gonna fucking hug you. Oh man.
Yeah, man. So,
holy shit.
the only thing is, just don't ever sell it.
I will never sell this.
exactly.
Keep
That
that
was
and
his
enjoy
never
it, and
sell this.
be kind to others and give when you can and enjoy it.
You paid for it.
Do you know how many packs of Ultra O opened and I opened everyone but Jordan back in the day?
Yeah.
I could never crack one.
Yeah. Hopefully that's a special thing that reminds you of all this, and what hopefully this journey is insane that we're going to go on for this event.
Exactly. We're just beginning, I think that's amazing.
For me, it started with the Jordan Scoring Kings. That's going to go on a shelf and is going to be like the jewel in my collection.
Yeah.
So
Just quickly, so obviously these cards kind of speak for themselves. This is the finest refractor. We can
That is a jewel.
So good.
It is a jewel.
I'm spewing that I sold all mine off because they were all really perfect.
Yeah.
And because I went to, so there was a place. How old are you?
37.
Okay, so did you ever go to the Gold Coast back in the days of the 90s?
Yeah.
Right? Do you remember Face to Face?
Yeah.
On Broadbeach?
Yeah.
That's where I bought all my refractors. Do you want to know how much I paid for each refractor in the foil refractors for?
How much?
Take a guess.
100.
Lower.
Did you say 70 before?
70 per originally for all 5.
Yeah.
Because I made him a deal. Because they were all set at 100 originally.
Yeah.
And that's when I sold them all off at $100, I was like, I'm making a lot of money from
made
this.
bank, man.
I'm all good. And absolutely regret it every time I think about it.
Yeah.
But in saying that, that's obviously the nature of the hobby.
Yeah.
And I want to hear the story of this one though.
So I love graffiti and street art, and especially Melbourne. And this card just kind of, to me, it captures, feel like that's kind of got that graffiti background. And Big Man on Court is an iconic card. There obviously is the parallel to that, which is more sought after. This is an extremely copied card, and there's a lot of fakes of them around. And one of the key signs is to tell the way the edge of this is cut there. So a lot of the fakes have the wrong angle cut on it. So that's really cool.
Yeah, I'm surprised that such a delicate die-cut card is the one that's attempted to
Now,
be copied.
have you ever accidentally bought a fake?
No, I haven't.
The reason I clarify that is because I know somebody who has.
Oh, poor bugger.
And they bought it, and then when it arrived in the mail, because they bought it from eBay, they already knew about the issue. The picture on eBay was the right card. The card that they received was the fake card.
Yeah.
And he was pissed.
Yeah.
That's the amount he paid. And he was like,
That's shit.
fucking cunt has fucked me over. And I went, dude, eBay seller protection. And he went, oh, shit, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's not the pictured thing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Now I've got more autos than this, but just to... So I don't know if you can kind of try to get that right. So that's the Radiance autofocus. It's an acetate. And that signature, to think that Michael Jordan has held this card, it's like he's touched that. Like, that's insane.
And that's the thing. It's like some people mems do the right thing for people. Autos do the thing. Everyone has their kind of they pick their poison. But yeah.
Well, see, this is why I don't understand memorabilia cards, right? Unless it's a game-worn jersey.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't have that person's DNA on it. Like, here's this person's jersey.
I want that sweat. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I want that sweat. And sure, you're not going to lick the card, but it's the idea of this person has touched and worn this thing.
Yeah.
That's why I hate sticker autos.
There's a few Jordan shoe cards as well.
Yeah. I've seen those.
I don't have any, but
They're wild.
that is insane. So this was my first ever auto that I got, the Bling auto. And this is one of the guys from America got this from his collection, and that's a really special card. To have a Jordan auto in a Bulls uniform.
Yep.
I do have others, but they're all North Carolina stuff. But that's a really nice card, and it is valuable, but that's not the part of it. And this is one of the cards I look at after a shit day.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
It's got to make you smile. Yeah. And then I guess the last couple I was just going to show, obviously.
Now I'm going to ask the question.
8.
Have you ever gotten to open up an actual pack?
No.
No?
No, I have thought about buying some, but I don't have a lot of confidence in those singles where I feel that
you need to buy them graded.
Well,
to trust them, and even you can see through them.
Yeah, the packs you can go fish through your box, and if you pull a Jordan, then you probably just flog the other ones off. Look, I think there's on average 3 rookies per box.
Yeah.
So I've got no doubt people are doing that, getting the 3 and trying to flog the rest of them off. And for me, I've bought lots of boxes that are sealed. I've never had a sealed box where the cardboard isn't that serrated edge isn't broken. Even though it's sealed, it just always makes you question it.
And we've questioned a few. I mean, not that we're doing high stakes or anything, but some of those early 90s ones, like, wait a second, like, maybe, like, I don't know. You never know. And sometimes the collation's so bad anyway, like suspicious, I guess. But yeah.
I have opened some kind of rare boxes and had good success in that. A box of UD3 with those 3 Jordans, the gold ones and that, and I actually pulled the set of them out of that. So that was a really cool experience. But yeah, I kind of moved away from that stuff. But yeah, I got this one from Jay Fuller, and that's a really I love that card.
I did remember seeing that on Facebook.
Yeah.
Incredible.
And obviously that speaks for itself. And unfortunately, I guess a lot of people won't ever really get to hold these in their hand or see them in real life. And
I've held one once.
Was that a second ago?
No. Okay, twice.
Okay, twice.
So the original, again, face-to-face games.
It's such a good one.
It was, so there's 2 things here. The first one I need to, if anyone knows about Magic the Gathering, you know about Black Lotus.
Yeah.
Right? So I went and bought a Black Lotus for $400.
Yeah.
And I walked straight out of that card shop and sold it straight away for $500 to another person going into the card shop. Because they were going in to buy the same thing. Because it was a $400 Black Lotus. So I made $100.
Yeah.
I turned around, I walked straight back in, and I bought, and back then we didn't grade shit because we didn't care.
Yeah.
I spent $450 and I bought a Jordan Rookie.
Wow.
It gets worse. My house got broken into.
Oh no.
No.
Yep, they stole 2 things. They stole my Game Boy and all of my Pokemon games and my Jordan Rookie. And they left the rest of the folder was there. They just literally took the Jordan Rookie and that was it. And I was pissed.
Oh, that's heartbreaking. Unfortunately, I can't give you this one.
No.
But should I ever get another one?
I got a scoring bit, so No, so like the thing here is that it comes back to I basically lost out on $450, which is basically $400, which was a lot back then.
Yeah.
Now, not so much. But considering the value of Jordan Rookies now, considering you can't, as you were saying, you really can't just pull them out of a box because most of those boxes look like they've been rifled through. They look like they've been tampered.
Yeah.
Unless you're going to buy a full case, and one just sold at auction.
Yeah, for what?
Almost like $1 million or something.
Yeah.
Like the odds of you being able to pull one.
Yeah, that is. Yeah. What did that Giannis go for? What 1.3? Oh yeah, 1.18 or something.
Yeah.
Was it US? Or something? That 16-year-old kid bought that for $40,000.
Yep.
Kudos to him. That's insane. And
except for life.
How many 16-year-olds have $40,000 to spend on a card? But anyway,
depends on who your parents are.
Get into Bitcoin at 12 or something. Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah.
And that's, more than anything, we're just in a wild time, but in a good way. I think there's waves of everything. Just.
So how did you come by that rookie?
Yeah.
Okay, so.
And if you tell me that you cracked that out of a Cherry Michael Jordan blind box, I'll laugh my head off.
I really like the Cherry product where they did that, and I tried to get involved in it. I'm not that super savvy with all the breaks and the terminology and all that stuff, and sometimes I find it a little bit confronting when you're trying to navigate through it because it's such fast pace and
there's so
even to know what's going on. And I'm like, but I was trying to get on that, and unfortunately I missed out on that product. But it would have been awesome. And did someone get one? That's insane.
Far out.
That's hats off to Cherry for doing that to give the community a chance to get that. Because that's really, it's a powerful thing that they did for everyone there. And imagine opening that box and pulling that.
Well, that's the thing, right? So it's a repack. Most of the repacks were pretty bad, I'm not going to lie. I'm happy I didn't buy in this time.
Yeah.
But imagine being the person who cracks the BGS 6 Jordan.
Yeah.
Because it's a BGS 6 Jordan.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane.
Well, on that, at the card show, and I won't say too much about it, the goal is that we will be giving away a rookie at the card show.
Cool.
Yeah,
Big.
so
Love it.
there's going to be a bit of a journey on that, and hopefully Al gets involved and we get some content going for that. But there's a really cool concept we have, and to be able to give a Jordan rookie away to someone in the crowd would just
It's
be...
going to be mega.
So hopefully that's a draw card to get people down there, I guess.
Oh, as I said, I will help you
to win it.
all the way through as much as I can.
Yeah.
But it's very, how I got that was so a gentleman, Travis, over in America, and he's actually met Michael Jordan twice.
Oh.
Yeah, and he handed him a card and got it signed personally, and Jordan handed it back to him, and he talks about that's one of his most special things.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
But these guys, their collections in America, like they are next level. Like they are insane. So really, really cool. But yeah, I bought it off him. So, yeah.
I mean, imagine having direct access to those players,
Yeah, totally.
Oh, imagine just seeing Jordan play, or Kobe, or LeBron, or anyone. But especially, for me, to see Jordan play would have been insane. I've seen Andrew Gaze, Leonard Copeland, not quite Jordan-esque, but
The Australian version, I guess. Yeah.
I was going to say, like, the closer we have is Andrew Gaze, and, like, to be honest...
Well, these days Simmons, but, he's playing in the States,
Well,
I guess.
I guess.
Yeah.
And I'm really hopeful that through this card show that we can get some of these faces around and see if they'll support it as well. And it's a really exciting opportunity. Once we've got the platform sorted, how this is going to work is so cool.
There's credit there, yeah.
Well, imagine getting, like, a pair of Andrew Gaze shoes signed to auction away for charity.
Like that type of stuff, and I can't wait to have those conversations. But that is
signed Luke Longley card.
and that's
mine.
the whole point of the Australian Trading Card Association is for that purpose, opposed to Matthew trying to reach out to Andrew Gaze. We're now an association. We've now got the support of Comic-Con. We're now going to be the biggest card show in the Southern Hemisphere, and now it's up to us and our community to get around and network and just come out of the woodwork.
And do that for people too.
Yeah.
It's not just a singular goal. I want to meet this person, or get a that kind of thing. It's like, well, everyone deserves that to have that kind of access. Especially, we joke about any kind of NBA players ever reaching Australia is always a rare treat. We talk about 1997 or whatever it was. Like that one, there was that exhibition game. I know a few of my mates went to.
Yeah, there was the dunk
where
we had Kemp.
There was the funny. I think we all forget about it. Is it the FIBA champs last year?
Was it?
Was it the one where they was it Rod Laver or something? And everyone bought seats in their town. The complaints is insane. But
and Culture Kings were bringing Shaq out.
Yeah, true. And they've had Ben, they've had heaps of people.
So I'm really excited to try to have a chat with those guys and see if there's any connection there or any value that we can add to each other.
For sure.
Because they've obviously got some significant networking ability.
And it's operating in the same cultures, exactly. It's all the same things we're excited about, exactly. So
Don't mind me networking for you.
Exactly. Oh, I love it. What a bookend for that one, man.
Thanks guys for the opportunity. And
that's all right.
Yeah.
I'm fully excited. Like, as I said,
man.
For me, the reason that I reached out to you originally is because you wanted people who were interested in helping. And I think, as Sam already knows,
that committee's still gonna happen, by the
my
way.
entire life is just helping people. I don't.
Or facilitating, I think, is the best way to do it.
Facilitating is what I do best.
My story with Chesh is just, we've been friends for quite a few years now, but it's like, here's a thing to do your thing, just you got it. And it's
here's a platform to do your thing.
Maybe I don't think I can do it. And you're like, you can do it, just talk, and the rest will happen.
And all you need to do is talk.
Just have fun with
look
people.
Look at you now, you're having so much fun.
Yeah, exactly.
We do, yes.
Number one thing, exactly. I would
look
say
at this, I'm having so much fucking fun.
Have fun at the end of the day, and then who knows what will happen. So, exactly.
But I'm excited because this is something that I've wanted for a very long time. Like PAX, when you look at PAX, it's video games. I wanted something for trading cards because it's not just basketball. It's not just My Little Pony.
Yeah, we have
what the fuck, people. But you're looking at all things. You're looking at so one of the things I used to do was manage Underground Groove in Coolangatta, right?
Oh, yeah, cool.
So Coolangatta's Underground Groove was basically a memorabilia shop that worked with records and trading cards. They were our main sellers, right? They would be my free trips to Sydney to hunt down cards and memorabilia and records
too. It's like records and trading cards. That's my jam. Like
yeah, exactly. And for me, like, when you look at things like Dynamic Marketing's Batman Forever trading cards, right? We were buying boxes at $25 a pop, selling them at $50 a pop. Like, it was dirt cheap because nobody wanted that shit. Now people want that shit. What a surprise. But back in the day, we used to like hunt down these cards and stuff for people, which is what I was saying before about the particular place that you mentioned, and not feeling like they had that customer service. Because their role is, if you come into that store and you say, I'm looking for this thing, if they don't have it, they should be saying, I don't currently have it. However, drop me your email address and I'll see what I can do.
I think
because they should be hunting for that.
Yeah, also like validating and feeling good about what you like. You know, like, you go in there and you walk away and you're like, I'm happy. Like, just like, they're just buzzing about, we both like vibed off the same thing. And it's
exactly. It's the customer experience from end to end. Right? And the same for any event like this. It needs to be the customer experience from end to end. And not just the customers, but the media, everyone that's involved. And I think that you guys are going to hit that. I think you guys are going to nail that.
Yeah, I really hope so. And I think that the network, like I'm a card collector. I've got visions and stuff like that. I don't have the skill set or the networking to really, get this together. And it's going to be a community that does that. And that's why we are going to form that committee. There will be expressions of interest for the committee going out shortly. The reason it hadn't gone out was because I was negotiating this stuff, with Comic-Con, which took away a huge part of the compliance and all that type of stuff where I don't have those skill sets, and I was quite nervous
they've already figured it all out, exactly.
Well, we're slotting into their show, so it's going to be, they spend big money on bringing talent over, and we're going to be part of that.
Well, that's it. When you really look at like Comic-Con, and when they get people for Comic-Con from, let's say, The Walking Dead or from Buffy, etc., like, it's the same with this, You can have, like, people from those trading card series that they might be able to get. You might have basketballs that they can get. It's not you approaching them, as you were saying before, as yourself, as Matt Payne.
Putting some cred behind it.
Which, by the way, awesome surname. But anyway, I say this as being an Albert Keynes. Let's not go there. But it's the fact that now you have this whole thing behind you, and when you approach people, it's not you're approaching them as you're approaching them as this entity.
Correct. That's the whole idea of it.
And that's a much bigger train. That's like you went from like a two-person like seesaw on a train track to an actual locomotive, like a bullet train, who's just like, hey, we're on the tracks, get the fuck out of the way, because we can do this.
And I do want to say, I'm extremely grateful to Comic-Con for hopefully not say as a risk, but to roll the dice on us and to
something
give it
new.
They didn't have to do that, so I'm extremely grateful for that opportunity, and I really hope that we can support them through it as well and make it very viable for them,
worth their while.
Because if we do as a community, there's no better platform to do this on, So
as I say, it's the right time to do it. It's like we're just entering the new phase of trading cards, basically. That's bloody exciting. So,
all right. Good times. We're about to switch places.
We've got some mail day.
We have some mail day. He says in his mostly sober state.
You haven't even cracked Steve yet.
I haven't cracked Steve. So before we start on this stuff here...
You got Jordan in the mail.
I have now, pretty much. That has to be part of mail time, right?
That's so good.
So before we do anything, I want to thank Guff for sponsoring this stream.
Thanks, Jim.
And of course, Bonehead Brewery that we're here, which is fantastic. Their beers so far.
Thanks, Adam and friends.
Yeah, I don't know, he's around somewhere. But everyone knows how much I don't drink beer, but I drink craft beers.
We have had 2 beers today.
Only 2. I'm going to have another one soon.
Got the passion fruit.
I'm getting passion fruit.
Getting fruity. Yeah, exactly.
So we're going to dive into mail time. So we got this one here from Sam. We of course have this from Matt.
Steve.
Steve. 90210 Steve. I couldn't find a text, but I was going to sign it.
And we have this.
We had a great chat with, I can't even remember who it was, I guess, a couple of months ago, and we're like, we want to get into some of the weirdest, darkest, dirtiest, like, mem card, or like, what do you even call it? Just like the like TV show
pop culture.
Yeah, pop culture cards. Like get into some, like you say, some Batman Forever and some like crack a box of something weird, like, you know, and just.
What, you mean like Marilyn Monroe cards where you can get the Ruby Rose redemption?
Well, I've been doing Godzilla cards with my son.
Love that.
And they're really cool.
Yeah.
Really cool.
We got friends that are into the whole like kaiju, like and everything. So,
like kaiju.
Like kaiju, exactly. Love it. So yeah, sweet.
All right, cool. So I guess the first off the line is Scoring Kings Jordan from Matt. So thank you very much.
We saved on
pretty good.
postage.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you very much on post. That is
Did peer-to-peer on that.
It's in reasonable condition. It's not
condition
awesome,
doesn't
but
matter. It's
the fact you've got it.
It's the fact that this card is a holy grail of so many people's collections that they have looked for high and low to try and find a copy of. Just a copy of.
Yeah.
You know, and to find one that's not like, you know, it's not
that's
cracked,
fine.
it's not sitting in water, it's not in mud.
That's fine.
It doesn't matter. It's just so pretty.
Oh, it's in fair. It's in good condition.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Yeah, it is.
It's just not a 9. Yeah.
Does a 9 matter? Like,
not at
I
all.
said this, like,
No
I've
way.
sent some Carsons, some Jordans, some Magics. There's like base stuff that's been sent off for grading, and I don't care what it comes back.
No,
I don't give a shit.
Protected and safe.
Yeah.
Somebody said to me, like, what are you going to do with the Magics? And I'm like, well, he's got his own Last Dance coming up.
Yeah.
So I'll probably sell most of them.
Totally.
Yeah. Like the Johnson I sent you, like the Johnson. It's like, I bought it because it was $60 and I wanted it. And I'm like, I've always wanted one of these. And I saw it for $60. I'm going to grab it.
Yeah.
I'm in a position now to do that.
Yeah, hell yeah.
All right, so let's go through.
So nothing wild.
What is that?
I know. Don't worry, there's nothing special in there. That's why I did it.
But it's just Steve. That's great.
It's Steve. So Steve was the first one. As I said, I found I was riffling through one of my big shoe boxes of stuff, and there's everything
Everyone's got a
there
shoe
from.
box.
Oh yeah, and it's like those corners are beautiful. They're full rounded now, thanks to wear. But I found Steve was the guy. I was like, it looks like me a little bit. Like I need to sign it. It's bad, and it's.
Is your rig as good as that, or
nah?
Back in the day,
I'm too skinny.
Mine never has been. I went from 60 kilo weakling into 135 kilos.
Oh, man.
So I'm tall, and I was tall and lanky, and now I'm tall and fat. So that's my New Year's resolution is to not to